Hello from Linz, Austria. We are going on an excursion this morning to Český Krumlov, which is in the Czech Republic. You have to bring your passport since we're going into another country. Well, we made it to Český Krumlov. Took us about an hour and 15 minutes. So we came from a car park just up the way there and then came down to public restrooms where they were free. So that was nice. In fact, the women's line was long, the men's line was not. So our guide suggested that we take over the men's room. They posted a guard and we could use both sides. Really convenient for our group. We are taking an uphill walk to go to the castle. First look after entering the gate. We're going through a little door in the wall to get a quick view. See what the scenery view is like. That gutter spout is fun. It's neat to take some pictures through the little openings there. Kind of frames your picture as you take it. Be real careful. The cobblestones, there's gravel between them. They're very uneven. Occasionally there's a drain even. So you got to really watch your step. There's a pedestrian bridge. A little bit crowded today, but it connects the two buildings. Has statues on the left and the right. And a gorgeous view of the city down below. I'm going to enter through this next archway and see what's there. The frescoes on the wall are original. They have been restored. This is the first courtyard, and then we're going to be going through this passageway to the second courtyard. Everything that looks like bricks and stonework are actually painted on frescoes. Amazing. And the woman we passed a minute ago in costume is because they're having a festival here in Český Krumlov this weekend. Normally requires a ticket on Fridays and Saturdays, but since it's Sunday, we're going to get in free of charge. In that second courtyard is a door that's where you enter for tours of the castle. You have to make sure you have enough time because it's a 1-hour tour inside the castle. So a lot of times there's not enough free time during the tour that we have. But if they have an English tour within that time, it might be a good thing to do. But really, once you see the town, you're going to want to stay in the town according to our guides. So we'll see if that's what we want to do. Leaving the second courtyard, we'll go through another archway, and this time we have a ramp going down. There is a handrail that you can hold if you need to. So we go down, but smoother in the middle than it is on the side. I'm sure the side is done for drainage purposes. One of the other groups got the nice shady spot, so our guide came over to the right. So there's a little bit of shade from the building there while she tells us some of the history of the area. Let's do a 360-degree turn here now that we're in this courtyard. We just came out from that archway ahead of me and down the hill. This part is the oldest part of the castle. It's from the 1200s. Used to be a very short, plain tower, but then it was painted by the Italians to make it more ornate. Also in that building is the Castle Museum, where they have a lot of the things from the castle. If you want to actually do the castle tour, you go through this door to buy the ticket, and then you go through the door I showed you earlier. There's a moat around the castle, and typically there are bears here, but I understand that the bear keeper is here today, so they may be getting fed inside. See a couple more costumed characters here. Our guide told us that on the festival days, if you dress in costume, you can get in free. Even though today we could get in free anyway. The courtyard is filled with vendors only because it is the festival that they always have the third weekend in June, and we just happen to be here at the same time. There's some more costumed characters standing there, and they get to dress up. Our guide told us that she grew up here, and you could go to the theater and ask for a costume, and they would loan one to you if you wanted to dress up for these days. The yellow building is the salt building. There are no salt mines here in the city, so they would bring it to store it here, and then they used salt to preserve their food. Going through the next gate down below. Okay, we came down the hill through that archway, and there's a gate that this is the official entrance to the castle. So we came in unofficially, I guess. Our guide gives us some history, personal experiences, and we look at the little shops and cafes and businesses all along, and I can't wait to explore some of them during our free time. The bridge was built in 1555. From the opposite side of the bridge, we get a beautiful view of the castle. Our guide told us that there's a book in America called The Blood Letter's Daughter that's written in English, and it's about this area. It's definitely crowded here in Český Krumlov today. What a pretty little narrow street that we're about to go up. We're now in the main square, the Swarnovsky Square, not Swarnovsky Square. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. But it's neat that we're here right now during the festival because we've got some live music being performed right behind us. Maybe a little hard for you to hear me because of it. It is very hot today though, and there's very few people sitting on those benches in the direct sun enjoying the music. They're finding little shady spots all around on the edges instead. Our tour today includes lunch, and we will be eating there into that restaurant. It's right by the stage, but man, I think those ribs look really, really good. I bet they're not on our menu. Since our tour is making good time, she's taking us up another hill to go to another viewpoint. The ones that were a little tired are taking advantage of sitting in the chairs down there and listening to the music that's here today. Found a nice little courtyard, a few shady places, lots of people dressed up. They managed to get it almost to themselves on the wall. That's pretty impressive. We'll come around though beside them so I can look down. Oh, neat, because you can see all the little rooftops, the shingles that they have in the city. You can see the whole castle. Lunch is served family style, so they brought out a plate full of carbs and a plate full of meat, beef and chicken. There's also pork. I got a potato dumpling and a bread dumpling, and then potato. And they also have red cabbage on the meat plate. Drink was included. I got a Fanta. The gentleman at our table tried the original Budweiser. They don't sell American Budweiser beer at all in the Czech Republic because they make the real Budweiser here. During our free time, I found the Monastery Museum, and what a wealth of information this had. I got to see the monastery church. There's a cloister inside with the Black Madonna. There are murals all along the wall depicting the life of Sir Francis of Assisi. There are Baroque paintings, a whole hall of them. I found this one interesting, of Michael the Archangel and of the Guardian Angel, all painted in the 1700s. There was water closets available. Of course, you could use that complimentary with your admission to the museum. When you went downstairs, it was really cool there. You could see a couple of different tombstones. I'm not sure if that's a burial crypt down there, but it was down below, and it was very cool. This stop was a nice break from the heat engine. Cost was 150 Czech crowns, and I'll put what that is in US dollars on the screen. I decided to hike back up the hill, and the bears have come out now. These bears patrol the moat. Looks like he's washing off his dinner. This moat only has enough water for the bears' enjoyment. Who needs water in a moat to keep the castle safe when you can have bears instead? When I came back down the hill this time, I noticed a cafe that the crowds had obscured earlier. This cafe has an exchange office. That would have been really helpful earlier when I realized that some of the festival vendors and this chocolate shop only took local currency. Everyone's back enjoying the festival music now. The cool front has come through, and it's much more comfortable, and all the chairs are pretty well filled. We're just waiting for the rest of our group to come back so we can head to our bus and make our way back to the ship. Came full circle back around to where we started. If I look here, that's where we started. When we went way up the hill to go into the castle, we came back a little different way, but it's the same restrooms that we were in earlier, so everybody gets a chance for a restroom break before we have to go load the bus. This is Shirley with Shirley's Journeys, and I hope all of your journeys are better than whoever's having that ambulance come after them.